indecision. You know, well, am I going to play here? Am I going to get touches? No, they all understand what their roles are.
And the chemistry. I love the chemistry of the bench players. When they come in, they all feel comfortable with each other. We talked about Andre Iguodala and Barbosa, how well they play together. But like you said, whenever Klay Thompson stays in with that second group, they're still comfortable. They're still comfortable playing with each other. They're all unselfish. And I think that's the biggest thing. When everybody on the team is unselfish and they all know what the ingredients are to be a good team and to win, they know what they have to do. They do a good job.
All right. They are 56-6, right? I mean, people are at one game you lose against the Lakers and people think you're not as good as them. I mean, they're still playing fabulous basketball. Draymond Green is in a little bit of a shooting slump. We will break down what the Warriors need to do tonight in Game 2 of this 6-game homestand. And Draymond was not feeling well last game. He played despite the IV fluids that he needed, and he had a strep throat. Hopefully he'll have a little more game. By the way, that's Theo Robertson. We never pointed that out. He was a heck of a player for the Cavaliers. For De La Salle, working with Draymond Green. A little wisdom of Theo there. Chapter 28, the first 27 chapters have gone well. Warriors are 27-0 at home, 45 in a row dating back to last year in the regular season. The ball handling amazing. He did turn the ball over 5 times last game. Andrew Bogut also did, quite a high total for a center, and Draymond had 7 at power forward. The Warriors are a little sloppy with the ball. The assist-turnover ratio is still the best in the NBA because they average nearly 30 assists a game. But the last 2 games, just too many, and 44 the last 2 games. And right after they had 24 against Orlando on Monday night. Steve Kerr, even in the victory, all he wanted to talk about was his team turning the ball over.
Inexcusable. You know, you're going to have, you know, every team has 12 turnovers a game minimum, right? That's, I think, the team leading the league averages 12 or 13 a game. So some are going to happen, but I could rattle off 10 easy that were just inexcusable. And that's kind of our weakness.
And it's not just the turnovers, guys. It's the live ball turnovers that are going the other way. I mean, the Warriors had 13 turnovers in the second half. Orlando scored 67 points in the second half. So that's why your defense is breaking down. Your offense is giving them 2-on-1s.
Well, there isn't any doubt about that, Pop. And if you're going to throw it away, throw it into the 5th row or, you know, throw it over to the scorer's table. But when they deflect and steal like this, that's a disaster. And it just gets you if you keep doing it. You never get a chance to set your defense. So here you're trying to make the perfect pass on the back cut. And you get a guy anticipating in the passing lane. And Steve Kerr's mantra the last few days, let us make the simple play. We don't have to make the spectacular play. We're good enough passing. We space well enough. We move people well enough. We don't have to do that. And if they get back to their recipe for success, they're going to take care of business tonight, Kalina.
Totally agree. Some of the passes they were trying, they just weren't there. They were trying to thread the needle too much. Like I said, they're so good with the ball sometimes they get overconfident. They just feel like they can do anything. You saw Bogut there not even give a ball fake. He just kind of threw it up there. So they got to get those under control. These can come back to bite them in the postseason, especially on the road. You see games on the road where teams are in the game when they shouldn't even be in the game because of the high turnovers.
Like Monday night.
Exactly.
Orlando, all of a sudden, it's a 3-point game because you're so sloppy with the ball in the second half and 24 turnovers for the game. But they still scored 119 points despite it. They're incredible. They could have had 140 if they didn't turn the ball over.
Exactly.
Our Honda starting 5, and why would you change it? It will be Steph and Klay in the backcourt. Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, both now in shooting slumps. Need to get out of that. And Andrew Bogut at center. The Warriors are going to get Andre Iguodala back tonight after missing 3 of the last 4. So maybe Steve Kerr can turn to a small ball lineup a little bit tonight because Andre Iguodala certainly is very impactful when they go small.
Our small ball lineup is at its best when Andre is on the floor to protect our defense, and he's been out, so we've and also Draymond has been in some foul trouble a couple games. So those are the factors that usually we go by.
Coach, I know you want the team to make the simple pass, the simple play, not the spectacular one. You obviously have players like Steph Curry who just, it comes naturally to be spectacular. I guess how hard of a balance is that to get them to just be simple?
Yeah, it is tricky. It's something we talk about quite a bit. You know, we have a great home crowd here. We have guys who want to put on a show, and they should. That's a big part of what makes it fun. What I'm trying to convince them of is that the simple leads to the spectacular. I said that the other night. If they make 3 or 4 passes, just move it on, because the guy's open. That usually leads to the lob dunk, or you know, the open 3 that brings the house down. And when you force the issue and you try to create the spectacular, you know, early in the possession, and force the issue, it's usually a turnover. So it is a balance. It's something we're always trying to reach, and in many ways, it's the key to what we do. If we're just solid, we're really hard to beat. But when we give teams extra possessions and fast break layups, makes it a lot tougher on us.
It's the one thing he's harped on since he's been the head coach of this team. His first loss in Phoenix, they had like 27 turnovers. He could not believe it. But something tells me tonight the turnover total is going to go down tonight. Yeah, right? I mean, that's all they've been talking about since the game on Monday.
You know, pro players, NBA players, when you make points of emphasis, verbal, on video, and then you work on it on the floor, you're going to see a reaction from a team that is of this caliber. So I think you're right on, Pop. I think it's going to go down significantly. You're going to see a tighter game. And, you know, with that said, he talked about the small lineup. And Glenn, I see if you agree with me. I think we're going to see a better Harrison Barnes and Draymond tonight.
I agree.
They have not been playing at an upper echelon level like we've seen them in the past. Once their game comes up, then your small lineup really becomes special.
I'm sure they've been getting up extra shots in practice, and that's what you got to do when you're in a slump. Just get extra shots up, get your rhythm back, get that confidence back. But with the turnovers, I doubt they'll even be close to 20 turnovers. Again, there's such great ball handlers on this team. They got to get those turnovers down, and it's something they can do. It's not like a goal that's unreachable. This is something they can do.
Yeah, Draymond had 7 last game, Bogut 5, and Steph with his incredible hand-eye coordination at 5. You were talking earlier when we saw him getting doused by the water, the putting. We saw this at the arena the other night where fans came out. And how do you get a punt on an NBA court? I mean, talk about a fast green. But Steph Curry did earlier today, had a little punt-a-thon against Lydia Ko, who's the best female punter in the best female golfer in the world, the Warriors practice facility. He's not going to drain that from 94 feet, is he?
Stop it.
Where's the cup now?
94-foot
It's a no!
putt.
It's a
Are
no!
you kidding me?
He drained it.
Did it go in?
From
Did it go in?
baseline. Yes, it went in.
Come on.
From baseline to baseline.
Is there anything this guy isn't good at?
He's starting to annoy me, I got to tell you.
He's setting a record for most things a person is good at. He's got that
He
record.
can shoot the basketball from baseline to baseline, but putting? I was watching that at the arena when the fans were doing it. I think, how could you do that?
You can do that, Sing?
No, but I'm waiting to see if he can make Aisha's French toast. That's the next thing I'm
that what
looking
you
for
want?
here. Yeah, I want to see that.
That's my favorite
The butter,
breakfast food.
low-cal
Remember that?
French toast.
Yeah, you
Oh,
like
my
that.
goodness.
All right, any concern tonight against the Utah Jazz? They are struggling. Utah's lost 6 of the last 7, but they got the 2 bigs, and this is a very good defensive team when they have Favors and Gobert healthy, and they're going to slow the game down tonight.
Yeah, I think they're deficient in the backcourt, and I think that's the big key. That'll be the separation. But Cullen is right on. I think we're going to see between 14 and 16 turnovers. And if they're down in that area, they're going to take care of business.
And the Warriors got to dictate the pace. This is the slowest paced team in the league. They're not going to try and come in here and outscore the Warriors. They're the 3rd lowest scoring team in the league. So when they're at their best, they're mucking it up and trying to beat you with their defense. They want to stay close and then give themselves a chance at the end. So the Warriors got to dictate the pace.
Could be a playoff preview right now. Utah is the 9th seed in the West, 2 games behind the Houston Rockets, trying to get up to the 8th seed. This guy, I love him, but he's starting to annoy me. Curry can do everything. Draymond's smiling. Maybe he's over the strep throat against the French rejects in St. Louis, the Stifle Tower.
Woo. Talk that French. I love it.
After a shocking loss in L.A., Golden State bounced back in style as the Splash Brothers combined for 68 and made the crucial plays down the stretch. The victory secured the longest regular season home winning streak in NBA history and checked off yet another milestone in a record-breaking season. Tonight, the Warriors continue their longest homestand of the year as they look to extend their streak against the Jazz right now. continues with a midweeker against the Utah Jazz. Packed Oracle as the Warriors continue to pursue perfection. Yeah, they've won 45 in a row at home, but could they become the only team ever to be undefeated for a full season in the building? There's always something to strive for in the NBA. Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Jim Barnett. And, okay, 45 in a row at home. That record is done. But the way San Antonio is chasing the Warriors, you may have to win all your home games. And right now, the Warriors aren't playing their best basketball.
I know, but there are so many superlatives. They set the bar so high, you have to look at other things. Maybe they'll go undefeated at home. They just keep doing these remarkable things. They can play better basketball.
Right.
And they've got to cut down on the turnovers. You do that, it's going to solve a lot of problems. Utah lost 6 of 7, but they're only 2 games back from that 8th spot. They're hungry tonight. You got to be ready to play.
If you look at Utah presenting a challenge, the Warriors can't keep relying on Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Or can they? This is the best backcourt in the NBA. Against Orlando, they were magical in their own right.
Well, they've been delivering here through 62 games, and particularly the MVP. He just keeps getting better. He's been better since the All-Star break, but I agree with you. They are relying on the Splash Brothers, and you know what happened when they went 1 of 18 in L.A.? They lost that game. This shot by Klay Thompson sealed the win over Orlando, and they needed all of these points. They've just been remarkable with this kind of production.
68 points, 19 rebounds, all the key plays, but they got to find a third scorer at some point.
I keep waiting for Harrison Barnes to step in. Andre Iguodala will be back in the lineup tonight. He settles things down, and he can score as well. But they just cannot keep relying on those two. It's a lot of pressure.
All right, we're not going to say struggling when a team's been 8-2, but since the All-Star break, the Warriors are not playing their best basketball. The numbers bear that out. They've had to rely on Steph and Klay and pull a few games out at the last second.
Well, you can extract all these numbers. When you turn the ball over and give your opponents more possessions, they're going to score more. You're going to score less. And certainly, numbers do not lie, but the Warriors keep winning basketball games. The goal for the next 20 games, settle down and play good, fundamental, smart basketball. Get back to the habits that you've already created, and they'll be okay.
All right, a third scorer. How about the All-Star in Draymond Green? How about Harrison Barnes? Two likely subjects that could help out Steph and Klay. They're both in shooting funks, but they have a lot of talent. They'll get a lot of opportunity, and the Warriors need both HB and Draymond tonight. Warriors and Utah. Greg and the guys in the studio after this.
Welcome back in studio. Greg Papa, Gary St. Jean, Kelena Azubuike, Utah Jazz in town. A couple of struggling forwards who need to get out of their funk tonight, Saint, huh?
Well, we do. We got to see Harrison making those corner wide open threes, and we've got to see Draymond take advantage of the versatility in his game against Favors. I'd like to see our bigs really bring their bigs away from the basket. Going to have some good opportunities.
Now, Warriors want to play up and down, but when they do have to play out of their half-court offense, which Utah Jazz will make them do something, they got to execute. Constant motion and screen. I love when they get into that weave action,
like
into a ball screen. They always get something good out of that.
That's because you used to get a dunk.
Oh, you already know.
That's how you make a basket. You weave it.
Oh.
Didn't you learn that, Saint?
Wow. That's why you took basket weaving.
It's time for tip-off. Here's Fitz and JB.
All right, Steve. Head coach is anxious to see how the Warriors continue playing at home. Long homestand. Game 2 of this 6-gamer with Utah in town. Our Xfinity starting lineups for the Warriors. They do get Andre Iguodala back. He will not start as usual, but he's on the bench. Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, and Andrew Bogut. Shelvin Mack, Chris Johnson, with Gordon Hayward, Derek Favors, and Rudy Gobert for Quinn Snyder and the Utah Jazz. They lost to Atlanta last night. But this is a team that is very dangerous at a bunch of different positions, but the injury to Dante Exum at the point guard spot has left Utah scuffling at such a key position in today's NBA.
That's really hurt them.
Harrison Barnes having that knocked away.
Just couldn't get a grasp on the ball. I'll tell you another thing. They don't have Booker tonight. Hurt his back last night. That hurts them also in the backcourt.
Gordon Hayward improved his scoring 6 straight years. Favors talk about improvement. Has worked on that mid-range jumper. Rudy Gobert inside.
And I'm going to correct myself. Did I say Booker? because I meant Rodney Hood.
Rodney Hood is out.
Hood is out.
Which is why Chris Johnson, the fourth-year player out of Dayton, getting the start. Shelvin Mack, good defense knocking that away. Johnson shot it over everything, but Gobert will track it down. No reset of the shot clock. That did not hit iron. Back with the runner and Bogut with the rebound. The simple pass and the simple play. That is what Steve Kerr has been asking about with 44 turnovers in the last 2 games, and already 2 in the first minute and a half of this one.
And Stephen was open. He comes back with a steal there.
Behind the back. What a pass! Steph Curry with a delivery to Draymond Green at full speed behind the back.
How about the audacity to go after a couple of turnovers behind the back, just past the half court with your offhand?
The heck with a simple play. Go for the spectacular. Shot clock at 3. Steph played Mack well. See Gobert, that length. The stifle tower.
Any kind of long rebound, and Gobert has a great chance of getting it, and it results in a deuce for Utah.
You were telling me before the game, Utah gets off to great starts. That's part of their DNA. Curry missing that 3.
Well, since the All-Star break, they're 3rd in the league in point differential in first quarters. Nearly 5 points ahead each quarter, and that was a foul.
Gobert is fouled.
First foul charge. Andrew Bogut. Personal. First team foul.
So after 2 turnovers, Steph Curry says, I can handle the ball with my left. Right on the money to Draymond. This is the kind of recognition you need. When you see a turnover like that, you've got to sprint to see that you can get. And that's exactly what Draymond did.
Gobert missing the free throw. That left hand, when you talk to the all-time greats, and Quinn Snyder has done an excellent job of weathering the storm with injuries. Not having Alec Burks, not having Dante Exum, missing Gobert for over 20 games. But the all-time greats, Rick Barry, Jerry West on opening night, both told me, if I had Steph Curry's left hand, I could have been even better.
Yes, and that's exactly true.
To which I said, Jerry, Rick, you're both about in the top 12 players that have ever played the game.
But the players were all, if they were right-handed, they were mostly right-handed in those days. That's Jerry West. You'll see him in old clips going down the left side, dribbling with his right hand and going sideways down the court. We were all 2 right-handed or 2 left-handed, depending on which was your strong hand.
And what's interesting is they get it to Bogut inside. Is that the logo is actually Jerry dribbling left-handed?
That's an anomaly.
It is an anomaly, as you're saying.
It's an oxymoron.
Okay, now you're getting the big words. You're confusing me. And Utah confused as they turn it over.
All it did was freeze Gobert just for a moment because he thinks he's setting a screen for Klay Thompson. And so he has to worry about helping out.
That is a long lob. That's converted again.
Well, there's your pass of the night. I don't care what happens after that.
Okay, so
from half court.
Behind the back to Draymond at full speed. And a 46-footer on the lob.
We'll show it to you again.
Bogut trying for the steal and ends up in the front row. He's all right. And so's the Warrior owner. Joe Lacob took it on the chin.
Well, I'll tell you what. A step over half court. Well, I guess if he can shoot from there, I guess he could pass from there. It's a given.
That's a brilliant lob. Hayward. Draymond playing great defense. And Klay will track down the rebound. You know, those 2 lobs, Jim, now means Gobert can't just roam around and be a shot blocker. He's got to at least be aware of where Bogut is.
He's got to be more alert, and you can see him right now. He's moving everywhere.
Klay Thompson, open 3. Yes, sir.
What I like about that play, Quinn Snyder calls timeout. Andrew Bogut dribbled out towards the top to get a better angle. In other words, there's no hurry. The man was open. He would still be open.
Some spectacular assists And the Warriors very sharp early. Up 9-5, nearly 4 minutes in.
I'm Stephen Curry, and you're watching CSN, the authentic home of the champs.
Welcome back to Oracle Arena. Warriors up 4 on the Jazz. Steph Curry just surpassed 300 threes in a single season, with many of them coming off the bounce. So I asked him how he uses rhythm dribbles to get into the rhythm of his shot, and he said he really tries not to use them. While some guys use specific dribble moves to 1-2 step into their shot, he told me he practices being able to get into a shot from any dribble. As soon as the ball touches his hand from a bounce, he feels he can transition into a quick release. So for a defender trying to get a beat on his tendencies, it makes it that much harder to anticipate the launch of his shot. Guys?
Well, I'll tell you, that is extremely special, because when you don't find your rhythm like that, and you can do it anytime you want, it's remarkable. It's a skill that not many people possess. In fact, he's the first player I've ever heard that could go and do that. And on a consistent basis, that's remarkable.
He does use the dribble on that pullback three from that unlimited range. But he's working to be able to shoot in any circumstance as soon as the ball touches his hands. Because Jimmy needs to get better. You know, he needs to keep improving.
Well, he will.
I know. He's never satisfied. And Clay having that knocked away.
Let's see how they play this.
Hayward had hit a three to make it a one-point game, and he couldn't hold on to it.
Well, that's because Draymond Green, he was the lone defender there, and he just anticipated the pass and got a hand on it just to disrupt.
Gobert got a piece of it. That's how good a shot blocker Rudy Gobert is.
Good observation, because Steph thought he was open. So did everybody in the arena.
Yeah, except Gobert's like a pterodactyl at 7'3". You want Shelvin Mack to shoot from the outside. He wants to continue to drive inside.
Yep, he was 2 of 13 last night, and he knows where his bread and butter is.
Very strong point guard. Klay Thompson off iron. Gobert the rebound. Warriors have opened 4 of 8. Utah 4 of 10. Shot clock at 7 again. Max like a tailback. He's looking for some opening. Draymond's read the scouting report. Don't leave Favors from 15. He can hit that shot. Draymond contested it well.
Favors has improved in all aspects of his game.
Curry weaving through the green. Draymond. That three is so big psychologically. Draymond had been 4 of his last 24 on threes. And he hits his first triple tonight.
And he's been under a little pressure and scrutiny, not from the coaching staff, not from his teammates, but from all the media, because what else are you going to talk about? When you set the bar this high, they're going to try to find things that aren't going right, and it's been tough on Draymond.
Hayward coming it out. Draymond the rebound in motion.
Just let him alone, he'll be all right. How about that? A little split. That is basketball 101.
That guy has no problem shooting threes. Favors with that face up. He's 6'10". Able to get inside. Derek Favors continues to improve. He's the one piece they have left from the Deron Williams trade. Steph Curry fouled, but it was before the shot, I believe. Mr. Iguodala is going to get a nice round of applause after missing a couple games in 3 of the last 4. Been very durable with 135 out of 144, but they miss him. Not only with the starting unit, the first sub in for Harrison, but he runs that second unit. The Finals MVP has been missed dramatically.
Yeah, he missed that Atlanta game at home. How about this little give and go again on Stephen? It's 2 games in a row. He's missed the easiest shots of the night for him. That'll happen. Iguodala will miss that Atlanta game, then the Laker game, and the Orlando game.
Now, Bogut is going to get called for a foul, and this was unfun. Shelvin Mack got underneath him, and it really wasn't anywhere for Andrew to go. He just landed on top of him.
Checking the game first time tonight.
So Barbosa and Varejao, the boys from Brazil, check in.
Man, that is, I tell you, both of them could have gotten hurt. We know about Andrew Bogut's arm issues in Milwaukee.
Well, and also he fractured his ankle on a similar play where he got elevated. Hayward missing. Booker will bat it back. Trevor Booker getting the playing time. No Bogut. Hayward tried to get inside. Warriors collapsed nicely. Curry ran to the line. Booker will track it down.
They did a nice job on Hayward last time by not fouling. They're trying to keep these guys off the line. They've been fouling a little too much. That slows the game down recently.
This is Trey Burke. He's always looking to score. So Quinn Snyder's going with the multiple point guard look. Orlando had some success with a similar alignment.
Burke did not play the last 2 games. Out of the rotation, you get the roll there.
See, I think that time he drove to set up Favors. If Trey Burke mixed it up a little bit, he's quick enough to get where he wants on the floor. But a lot of times he's looking for his own shot. Anderson Varejao. The best sign is the Warriors have the lead and Steph hasn't scored.
He's got 5 assists. Missed all 3 of his threes. Not tempted.
Relying on the MVP so much that, okay, he hasn't scored and yet you're still winning the game.
Exactly. Good point.
Varejao poked it away. Curry running with friends. The bounce to the Brazilian Blair.
Right by Burke.
Draymond saw that pass. Iguodala in the middle of the break. The 3 offline. And here comes Shelvin Mack. Hayward. Good read of that play.
He finally saw some daylight.
Yeah, Steph is 0 for 5 and 0 for 4 on threes. And Steve Kerr's going to use the timeout.
Well, he's got that consecutive streak going for making a 3 in a game. He'd like to get that out of the way early.
2:49 remaining in the first. And Draymond Green, weight of the world lifted. His first 3, perfect.
At Stanford.
Ball.
Warrior basketball on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Cresco, your #1 choice for tool and equipment rental. Warriors up 3, 2:49 remaining in the first. Our McDonald's true story. Most games into an NBA season without losing back-to-back games. Now, both the Spurs and Warriors have not lost back-to-back games at all this year. That's never been done for a complete year. Boston got through 74 games before they dropped 2 in a row. But that's a remarkable oddity.
You brought up something on the pregame show that could the Warriors go 41-0 at home? Wouldn't that be something?
Never been done. Varejao turning it over.
I felt they should have been 40-1 last year. How about this? What if the Warriors went 41-0? As long as we're talking about all these crazy things, and San Antonio goes undefeated at home.
Oh. Well, you know why I wouldn't like that? Because the Warriors play the Spurs twice in San Antonio.
Uh-huh.
I'd like the Warriors to get one of those games. Booker missing that 3, and Curry back for the rebound.
What you said would be important if they met in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That during the regular season, they beat them on their floor. Definitely.
Draymond attacking, and that's the play to make. And that's the one against Orlando. He was passing, but that's the play there where he's got to go to the rim.
I'm really surprised he missed it. I think he is too.
Raul Neto, spelled Raul, pronounced Raul Neto.
Still some of the passes right there that the Warriors had last game against Orlando cross-court.
Varejao on the kick out. Oh, what a look from Iguodala.
Now that'll put a smile on Steve Kerr's face right there. That is spectacular. Simple, but then the end is spectacular with what you get.
Well, last time he had 3 Brazilian players playing together. Neto the third as he gets it stolen by Curry and then fouling to stop the break.
Jazz foul, charge
7 turnovers already. This last possession, you hit the big man, he draws the crowd, you come out for the three-point shooter, and you get a streaking Barbosa for a layup.
If you want a visual example of Steve Kerr, good shot to great, Iguodala had an open corner three. That would have been a good shot.
Right.
The pass to Barbosa for the layup was a great shot. And that's what the Warriors want. They have 9 baskets and 9 assists. Every basket has been assisted so far.
All pretty simple, but profound result.
Barbosa missing there. Gobert with the rebound. Defensively, they're holding Utah to 39% shooting. Harrison Barnes held on to Gobert as he set that screen.
Yeah, Utah has been playing so well. We talked about it in the first quarter. They've turned the ball over 7 times, shooting 39%. They've got 16 points to show for it. The Warriors have 4 steals.
Ray Bird with Barbosa all over him.
That's too much dribbling.
Shot clock at 5. Joe Ingles out to Neto, and he buries a 3, and that's found money right there because the Warriors have played great defense for 22 seconds.
Yep. They'd love every possession to end up like that. I don't think you're going to win too many games dribbling the clock away.
Harrison, nice look to Iguodala. Ball hopping around nicely for the Dubs. Shot clock at 5, and Harrison inside for the layup.
I'll tell you, that's the second play that Steve Kerr is going to emphasize at the break. You talk about it.
Burke misses. Booker inside, and he'll lay it up and in. Let me ask you a really rhetorical question. You think the return of Iguodala has made a difference?
Well, I love what Steve Kerr said. What aspect of Andre Iguodala's game do they miss the most? They were asking him that in the press conference. He said everything. He's kind of our organizer at both ends, so they miss everything about him. I agree with you.
Shot clock at 3. Andre checked it. He's got a launch here for 3. Harrison Barnes the rebound. His putback just off iron. That'll do it for the first quarter. And as Jim mentioned, Utah had been one of the elite teams having advantages at the end of one. They play the Warriors very spirited fashion, but it's the Warriors up 2 after the first 12 minutes with 10 assists on 11 made field goals. Beginning the second quarter, Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Roz Gold on Wood A with you. Warriors, not only the 10 assists to 4 turnovers. Remember, the first 2 turnovers came in the first minute and a half of the game. Once they cleaned that up, they were very good.
And their defense has been so good. There's a foul that Gobert will go to the line again. They did not give any points off those turnovers.
Now, Varejao, it's actually a really smart play. Gobert's a 59% free thrower. At point-blank range, he's going to crush that with a dunk. If you're going to give a foul, give a hard foul. Don't give him an and one. Make him earn it from the line. And he misses the first free throw. Remember that tonight's game and all Warrior games on CSN are streamed live via the NBC Sports Live Extra app on your mobile phone or tablet. Stream the Warriors on the go.
Well, just what you were talking about, that's happened a lot with Gobert this year because, as he missed the second one too, he shot and attempted the second most on this club next to Hayward. So they are putting him on the line a lot with that kind of percentage.
And he's 1 of 4 free throwing tonight. Harrison, nice pump fake. Gobert came for the weak side.
He changed that.
Neto had played professionally in Spain. He's Brazilian by birth. Booker is held, and we check in with Roz.
In that timeout, Steve Kerr had a message about rebounding. He said to the guys, they have 6-0 boards for 10 points. If we take care of the glass, we'll be in great shape. We're giving them rhythm that way. Otherwise, we're moving the ball well.
And that is the point. I mean, Utah is going to play really hard. Quinn Snyder has done an excellent job with this team. So for the Warriors, you're forcing misses, but the stop isn't complete till you grab the rebound. Forced the miss, grabbed the rebound.
Well, Burke challenged 2 defenders there. I agree with you. He's looking to score a little too often.
Well, when you're playing with Gobert, you know where you can throw that lob? I mean, the radius is you can't overthrow him. And so Burke, be a point guard and involve the rest of your teammates.
2.5 assists per game in 23 minutes.
That's not good.
Nope.
Neto with a foot on the line. Remember early in the season, Jim, Neto couldn't hit a jumper. And now he's 39% on threes. He's adjusted to that NBA range. So even at 23, Iguodala setting up Varejao.
He's confident with that shot around the free throw line and consistent with it.
If he hits that, Gobert can't live underneath the basket. So that's what we're telling Andy to take that. He's made 2 of them. Harrison moved his feet nicely. Neto couldn't get around it. Shot clock at 5. Now Neto somehow dribbling in the lane. And there's Gobert at point-blank range.
Well, Barnes didn't foul him, but he just knocked it out of bounds because he knew a dunk was coming.
So Mo Spates, Klay Thompson in. Barbosa, Varejao out. Wouldn't be a bad night for Mo Buckets in terms of finding a third scorer.
That's the thing with me. They've got to find some kind of scoring. And I'm thinking Harrison Barnes is going to pick it up the last quarter of the season.
Gobert, some of these rebounds have been spectacular. He is so long. Iguodala deflected it away. Ingles for the offensive foul. Mo Spates moving the feet.
Offensive foul, charge number 2. Joey Ingles, first personal.
The international flavor of the NBA between Ingles and Bogut from Australia. Neto with Varejao Barbosa from Brazil. Gobert from France. They're all represented today.
I read somewhere where there are more French players in the NBA than any other country.
That's correct. Other than the United States, France is number 2.
Thanks for adding that.
Mo Spates rimming out that 3.
You talked about Mo and Gobert. You see, he's quick enough, long enough. He can extend out that far and still come back and help out on someone else driving. He's comfortable with that. Covers a lot of ground.
Ingles, he's a solid player.
Well, Andre gave him too much room there. He started to help and got caught in that little no man's land.
You can see why Utah's on the verge of the playoff picture in the West. Spates strongly taking that in, drawing the foul. So 8:43 remaining in the first half. Steph Curry has yet to score. He is 0 for 5, but he has 6 assists. Warrior trail by 1.
HD is brought.
You trust. What a great look at the Bay Bridge. Rain abating for the day. With the Jazz leading by 1. Our Geico Advanced Analytics. Draymond Green. Not only the points per shot, but his 3-point percentage. Both moving up. And we mentioned Draymond had been scuffling shooting the ball. Don't forget, he's a career best from the 3-point line this year at 39%. And he's also having his highest scoring year as well.
I'll take his numbers clear across the board every year throughout his career. And his numbers, by the way, since the All-Star break, he's remarkable with his assists. Approaching 9 assists since the All-Star break, which would make it basically a triple-double every night.
You're the second best defensive player in the league, losing out only to Kawhi Leonard last year for Defensive Player of the Year. And the defending world champions, you lead them in assists at 7.5, and you're a power forward. I mean, what more do you want to say about Draymond Green? This guy's incredible.
Good help from Mo.
Klay Thompson, that's extra effort defensively. And he knocked it off of Neto.
That's just terrific rotation there, all the way around the horn.
That's the 9th Utah turnover.
Now that's And yet, it's a tie game, so you got to give them a little credit. They're doing something right.
Well, they're hurting the Warriors on the glass. 9-0 second chance point advantage, which is why we're tied. Space. Favors isn't going to come out. Favors and Gobert want no part of Mo Spates 22 feet from the bucket. Again, Shelvin Mack wants to drive. Ingles, nice reverse.
He's skilled. He can do a lot of everything.
John Livingston, what a whip pass inside.
Favors just cheated, was going to give a little help on Neto, with Neto, and he got caught. Good recognition.
Melvin Mack missing the jumper. Barnes the rebound. Now the issue with Livingston and Spates is hard to Sean through that. Most played with him before. He was expecting it. He was surprising himself. And Mo Spates doing work. He's got 7 off the bench.
He made that move look easy, but that finish wasn't. He had 2 defenders there, and he took it back at a different angle and still had a nice touch.
Livingston coming up with a steal. A scattered break. Sean assesses and calls his own number. I'd say the Warriors are pretty sharp here. A 9-2 run, and Quinn Snyder's got to stop it. Supplementary scores with Spates having 7, and the veterans are kicking in.
Yeah, and this is what Steve Kerr has been looking for. Bench help, and they've given it in a big way here in the second quarter. Warriors up by 6. They're
looking good. Warrior lead at 6. Our Taco Bell Liv Moss hysteria moment. The closing moments of Orlando. Bogut pokes it away. Stephen Curry, 94 feet later, laying it up and in to put the game away. Our Liv Moss hysteria moment. And for Steph Curry, with a forthright choice on 2-point shots. 7-foot DeAndre Jordan, 7-foot Dwight Howard, 7-foot Hassan Whiteside, 6'10" Tristan Thompson, and oh, by the way, the point guard, Stephen Curry.
It's a terrific stat. It really is. It says a lot. And that's why sometimes guys come in and from college, they've got 58, 59% shooting.
They're dunkers.
Exactly.
Favors with the air ball.
They've done a good job on Favors tonight.
He's 2 of 6, and he's had to work.
You know, that 9-2 run you talked about going to break? The Warriors did that and accomplished that in 1 minute and 45 seconds.
The lob to Barnes. They just couldn't quite cram it in. Neto, very clever. Sets up Trey Lyles, who misses the jumper there. Give and go. Mo Spates has been excellent. Not only the 7 points, but the beautiful pass there. He's drawn a charge. He said it might be a Mo Buckets night. He was really good in the first win over Utah. He had double figures. Warriors have beaten the Jazz twice this season. Livingston recovered. Clay on the post up. It's the shot to take. Just pulled the string short. Shot clock at 7. Draymond Green guard the point guard. Shot clock at 1. Harrison, great reach. And forced the 24-second violation. Good defense, Harrison Barnes getting on the deck.
Just disrupted there. Went on the deck, like you said. Reached in, got the steal, and they call it a 24-second violation. That kind of hustle wins games.
You know what we've seen now, Jim, a couple games in a row, is coaches are going multiple point guards against the Warriors.
Yes, Orlando went very small. That brought them back in the game in the fourth quarter, in fact.
And now, you've got Mack and Burke. You had Mack and Neto playing together. But Quinn Snyder's going with 2 point guards. Clock at 10. Steph knew Mack would drive. He waited for him, knocked it away. Left-handed pass to Clay. He just couldn't hit the 3. Trey Lyles, Jim, 12th pick overall out of Kentucky.
Mr. Indiana in high school.
Averaging 5 points a game. Hayward, speaking of Indiana, the Butler Bulldog.
Yeah, he played with Mack at Butler. Shelvin Mack. Teammates reunited.
Well, Gordon Hayward, we always talk about, probably came out a year too early, but he's improved his scoring every year. There are only 8 days left to renew your season tickets by March 17th. And secure playoff tickets before anyone else. 888-GSW-HOOP or heartofthewarriors.com with representatives ready to help you tonight. If you don't renew your season tickets, there's 22,500 people on the season ticket waiting list. If you do not renew, you will never see them again. Draymond rolling and flipping it up and out. I like Draymond Green's assertiveness tonight offensively. Not going to make every shot, but he's made the right play every time.
Playing under control. He's playing with a lot of confidence.
Yep.
It seems to me he's being a little more decisive in what he wants to do and thinking about things ahead of time and still reacting.
Stayed down on Hayward, and Steph got the foul with the reach, and he did.
Interesting what you said about staying down, because Draymond Green sometimes takes that fake, pump fake, goes up in the air. That shows a little more discipline. He's playing more under control tonight.
I think he feels better tonight, to be honest, Jim.
Oh, sure, the strep throat.
Yeah, I think he was not in a good way on Monday night. You know, Gordon Hayward, Jim, is on the verge of being a superstar. You know, when he's right there. When you look at a guy who's going to give you 20 points, 5 boards, 4 assists. Yep. You know, there are very few guys with those numbers who have not been an all-star. He's right there. He's improved every year.
And he's also a playmaker. I'll tell you what, yeah. he's a very good playmaker for this club. He's unselfish. He's got a lot of skills.
Curry step back.
There it is.
Steph Curry's on the board.
133, right?
Streak continues.
There it is.
Roz will have to ask him after the game. That sure looked like a rhythm dribble to get that shot off. You got to talk to Steph. That pullback, I've never seen anyone do it. Trey Burke from the baseline. Clay driving around the rookie, flipping it up and in.
Oh, I love that move. A little hesitation up top. He can do that more often, but he saw a whole side cleared for him.
Iguodala. Turns Burke away. Lyles with the runner.
I've always maintained that the priority, you take away their strong hand, and that's the Warriors do that pretty well, but can do it better. That was flat. If you got a right-hander, he may beat you left, but let's make sure he doesn't beat you to the right. And there you go. Yep. Took away the right hand of Trey Burke.
2:10 remaining in the first half. Steph Curry has the 1-3, and yet the Warriors have the lead by 5. It has been a team effort, not totally relying on the Splash Brothers, but when they fully kick in, Utah's in trouble.
This is Harrison Barnes, and you're watching CSN, the authentic home of the champs.
When we called timeout with 25 seconds to go, we went into the huddle, and Phil told Michael, he said, Michael, I want you to take the last shot. And Michael said, you know, Phil, I don't feel real comfortable in these situations. So maybe we ought to go in another direction. So I thought to myself, well, I guess I got to bail Michael out again.
That is just great stuff for the championship parade in '97. What I love, and we saw the video of it, Michael Jordan told Steve Kerr, Stockton's going to come double team me because Michael had hit a game winner over Brian Russell earlier in the series.
Yes.
And Steve Kerr, just like Hoosier, said, I'll make it. And they have that audio in the NBA film archives, and it is the greatest real-life moment.
It really is.
To win the NBA championship.
And if Brian Russell hadn't reached for the ball on Michael Jordan, they might have won that game, but he reached and made a big mistake.
Ray Burke hitting a three.
And I remember that vividly. Brian Russell reaches for the ball. Jordan crosses over right to left, hits the jumper, and that seals it. Changes everything. Don't reach.
Steph and Draymond working nicely together.
Steph saw that coming before he got into the lane. He knew exactly, and that's what the great players do. They know what's going to transpire because they know the tendencies of great players defensively and what they should and are going to do.
Great players also make their teammates better. And Draymond has 9 points. Steph has 7 assists. He's making sure his all-star partner gets out of that little funk. Nice finish by Trey Burke. Utah hanging right with the Warriors in very entertaining games, but well played. Harrison Barnes finding Steph. Feed set. 3 down.
The ball movement tonight is superb. The people movement. Getting to the open spots.
17 assists on 20 made field goals.
Pretty nice. And I got to give credit to Utah. They're hanging in.
They've been great. And they are playing so hard. Lyles having it knocked away. Harrison comes up with it. Harrison is fouled. Utah had a foul to give.
All right, let's watch this two-man game. Gobert comes out. We're going to stop it right here. You got a defender cheating. Draymond's just going to go as Stephen penetrates, and they just set it all up. You get Gobert to commit, or excuse me, you get the big fella inside. Is that Favors or
Lyles?
Trey Lyles?
But here's the nice thing. Draymond could have faded out to the three-point line, but he decided to cut and make it a layup. You know, he would have been open for a three, but he read the play with Steph perfectly.
And Steph kept one more dribble to bring the third defender back into play.
Well done. Well diagnosed. The All-Star apparel, courtesy of Adidas, 50% off right now, the All-Star jerseys at Warriors.com with Steph, Clay, and Dre. Same ones they wore for the Western Conference All-Stars. You order an All-Star jersey tonight at Warriors.com. That 50% off is for a limited time. And speaking of 50, the Warriors are shooting 50% for the game. You look at it and say they're shooting well, they have all these assists. Why do they only have 46 points? Because Utah takes the air out of the ball.
Yes.
They play at one of the slowest paces in the NBA.
And that's why the Warriors have so many steals tonight. They're trying to put pressure on and change the game that way. That's a deep three.
Perfect. Right out of the timeout. Draymond set a great screen.
The similarity to the elevator.
Yep. Six-second game shot clock difference winding down this first half. Shot clock at 3. Draymond knows it. 2 seconds to work with. Curry from midcourt. It's good! surprised. He can make them from anywhere. And Anderson Varejão's alongside Roz.
Andy, you just joined the team. You've seen a couple of these crazy shots from Steph. Have you learned not to doubt him?
Yes, this is crazy. What he's doing this season and what he did last year, it's unbelievable. It's crazy. It's hard to believe it, but it's true.
You know, you told me you wanted to fit in and help the team. You got a couple of shots off of very nice passes. With the way this team moves the ball, how do you seek your opportunities?
Well, like I said, I just want to fit in. When I signed with this team, I told everybody, I don't know if this team needs me. Like I said, I just want to fit in. The way we move the ball here, I know I'm going to be open because they're going to have to overhelp on Steph, on Clay, and the other guys. So I just have to be ready and make those shots.
All right, thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
Guys.
I'll tell you, Roz, the Warriors centers have 15 points between Bogut, Varejão, and Speights. Steph Curry, come on! A 50-footer at the break. The Warrior lead 11. And that equals the game high right now. What more can you say about the MVP? Greg, Gary, and Colette in the studio for Warrior Halftime Live right after this.
Well, for the first 21 minutes of the half, he hadn't scored, and then he makes 3 threes, including this one.
Wow.
Another half-court shot, runs right into the tunnel. They're not going to overturn that one. I'm not coming back out. I mean, it's just, are we almost expecting him to end a quarter or a half with a half-court shot? He's done it since the Indiana game. He's done it like 5 or 6 times. What is going on with him?
The bank is open. He knocks it in from 60 feet, and I'm watching those 2 little girls jumping up and down. What the heck? Another one, Coletta.
What I love is the defender was playing him for it. Like, he knew he was about to shoot.
Sure he
Steph
did.
Curry jukes him and then goes up for his shot. You expect this from him. It's almost becoming
Amazing.
like we expect that from him, and it's still surprising. This dude is
He puts it online. He doesn't care if it's long because he has the backboard behind it, Coletta. As long as it's online, he's going to make it. And you know what? It's online again right off the top of the box. Why are we surprised?
I'm out of here.
He does it before the game. He does it in the
Look
game.
at
By the
this.
way, the Warriors are up 11. Did I mention that?
Don't worry about the score.
All right, come on.
Warriors, your local Chevy dealer.
Well, up until Meadowlark Curry made the half-court shot again. The story of the first half was the bench. Mo Speights was terrific in that first half.
I like the way they all played off the bench. They really had a good unity out there. They shared the ball and were a big effect in the first half.
And great ball movement in that first half. More of the same in the second half.
All right, they're dancing and joy again.
Wow, look
Bollywood
at that.
and we'll see what Meadowlark Curry does in the second half. We'll see you afterwards on Honda Warriors Post-Game Live.
Hard Jack in the Box at the half with the Warriors up 11, and a lot of good things offensively. The ball moved around. Iguodala is back. The defense was excellent. And scoring from Speights, Varejão, Bogut. And you get 15 points from the center spot. Curry hadn't scored for a long time, and yet the Warriors still had control of the game.
Well, this is what we talked about before the game. And the prior game, we saw Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry go for 68.
Right.
They're not going to get that every night. I thought the whole bench was fantastic tonight. At the 8:43 mark of the second quarter, the Warriors were down 26-25, down by 1.
Yep.
Since that time, they went on a 9-2 run, but they've taken control of the game.
Well, this is my favorite shot chart of the year, brought to you by KFC, our Nashville hot shot chart. Jim, where was Curry's shot when you think about shooting 52% as a team?
Let's go right down there past half court.
I'm going to go off the board there, 22 of 42, but more importantly, 18 assists and only 6 turnovers. So 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio as a team, and some of the passes were really spectacular.
They played an excellent first half. They've shot 52.5%. The bench has kicked in for 17 points. They're 7 of 17 from three-point range. The ball is moving. Now, is Utah still in the game, and they're still in the game down by 11 because they've slowed the game down, and the second chance points for Utah is the biggest reason right there. You know, when you get 12 second chance points and you slow the game down, you're going to be in the game.
And so for the Warriors, defensive rebounding, they will put the Jazz away. Up 11 at the break with the third quarter straight ahead.
Warriors basketball.
Getting ready to start the second half with the Warriors up 11. Moments ago, our Roz Goldon-Woode caught up with Warrior assistant Jaron Collins.
Coach Collins, Steph Curry started off 0 for 5 from the field and then finished the half with a half-court buzzer beater. In your experience of coaching this guy, what's his ability to heat up?
Oh, geez, Steph is remarkable out there. It's getting to the point now where I'm surprised when he misses the shots from half court. But in all honesty, I'm just more pleased, honestly, that he had 8 assists, I believe, and 0 turnovers. And that's the most important thing. You see the focus is there, the ball distribution, and guys are just getting open and making shots, and we're keeping our turnovers down.
One area that's tough is rebounding with this team. They have a lot of size. What are ways you can make up for their size advantage on the boards?
It's just activity, intensity. Got to put bodies on guys. Gobert's so long down there. You know, at the end of the day, just get into his legs, try to ride him off as best you can, and 5 guys have to rebound the basketball.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Ross.
Well, speaking of offensive rebounds, that ball never hit iron, and so even though Gobert got it, it's a 24-second violation.
Well, Bob, one reason that Utah has 8 offensive rebounds in that first half is the Warriors give a lot of help defense, so they prevented some points that way, but you're going to give up position, rebounding position in particular, when you help that much, and that's part of the problem, so it's sometimes necessary.
They're going to go to replay to see if Gobert was fouled before the 24-second violation. And so John Goble going to talk to the guys in Secaucus. The Ring Central call under review. Ring Central, business communication made simple.
A lot of ball there.
And remember, on the replay, they can't decide was it a foul or not. What they're looking at is, did that contact that was deemed a foul, did it occur before there was a 24-second violation? But as we always say, Jim, there's the rule and then the spirit of the rule. If I had a chance to look at that again, I'd say, you know what? That shouldn't have been a foul.
That's why I said a lot of ball there.
24-second violation. We're all fine. But I know they don't do that.
I just got one look at it. And again, if someone has control of the ball and you hit their hand is on the ball, the hand is part of the ball if you're doing the back of it.
Yeah, and Bogut actually, like we said, he got a lot of ball there. So again, they're not trying to determine whether or not it was a foul. They're trying to determine whether or not the 24-second clock had expired after Gobert got the offensive rebound. And you could make a case that 0-0s were already there. And in Secaucus, they set up the replays to assist John Goble and Steve Anderson for making the call. You know, this 8th seed, Jim, whether it be Utah, Houston, even Dallas or Portland, we will see the Blazers on Friday. It'd be very interesting to see who the Warriors get in the first round of the 1-8 matchup if the Warriors are fortunate enough to remain the 1 seed, because I think there's a lot of bumper cars going on all the way from 7, 8, 9, that kind of group.
Without question. When you look at the 5th spot, that's Memphis at 38-25. And then you go to Portland, 34-21. So that's the way it's going to play out. Right. You know, we know the top 5. What'd they rule there, Bob?
It was 24-second violation.
Okay.
That's why John Goble is a terrific young official.
Yeah, but that 6th, 7th, and 8th spot and into the 9th with Utah, it's a crapshoot. Wide open, but they want the lob.
Yes, they do.
I mean, how about that? How often do you get somebody open at the top and at the bottom at the rim?
The gravity of Steph Curry. How much does the defense pay attention to the MVP? He moved without the ball. Gobert's worried about him. So's the guard, and Bogut just right to the rim. Gordon Hayward off front iron. Bogut and Draymond Green with Harrison Barnes, Stephen Curry, and Klay Thompson. Chris Johnson playing with Shelvin Mack, Derek Favors, Rudy Gobert, and Gordon Hayward for Utah. Draymond has had a lot of good moves that time. Ball just tickling the 10 and out. Shelvin Mack. Bogut erases that. Shot clock at 3. Hayward challenging again, and tough finish.
Right at the buzzer. Give him credit. He didn't panic, didn't take the outside shot, knew he had enough time. He's a vet.
That was going to be a little push shot for Draymond, and I like that he's looking for his offense. Every shot he's taken has been within the offense. It made sense.
I like it too. He's got complete command of himself there.
5 of 9 with 11 points. 1 of 2 on threes and playing the great defense as usual. Shelvin Mack hitting the 3. Mack's only a 22% three-point shooter, which is why Steph was trying to help down low. Curry off the screen.
Boy, used a little body language to try to reel that ball in. He was definitely off balance.
Favors is a load on the box. Draymond. You cannot play better post defense than that. Johnson fouls Bogut. So how did they get Bogut open on these alley-oops, Jim?
Well, let's just watch this right here. We're going to run it ahead. And we're going to stop it right here. We got 1, 2. Both of them are going to be open. As this play develops, Curry has a shot. Bogut has a dunk.
Klay Thompson 3 is perfect. Biggest lead of the night is right now. Favors is fouled. Able to flip it in and draw the contact.
Where's foul charge to Draymond Green. First personal, first team foul. Ball against basket, number 15, Derek Favors.
See a lot of Derek Favors over the years. The 3rd pick in 2010. I don't think he ever really was a center, Jim. He and Enes Kanter were both kind of power forwards. They traded Kanter away.
Right.
But I think Gobert is a perfect pairing with Favors. Got a foul on that free throw. And Gobert hit the deck.
Gobert fights for every rebound. Just recently, 2 games in a row, he had 18 rebounds each of those games. He's just terrific. Even rebounded in their loss last night to Atlanta extremely well with 16 rebounds. He was getting tangled up and he got whacked.
This is now a flagrant foul. Replay review. Call and review brought to you by Ring Central. Business communication made simple. Flagrant 1, unnecessary contact. Flagrant 2, unnecessary and excessive contact.
Well, what they got locked up with their arms. The right arm of Gobert, the left of Andrew Bogut. And they got locked like that, and Bogut just was flailing to try to free himself.
Yeah, they're also...
Okay, that's all it is.
It's not an elbow technical foul. You know, Andrew's elbow did not make contact with Gobert's schnoz.
Well, at the worst, it'll be a flagrant 1.
Yeah.
At the worst.
Or it could just be a common foul.
Which I think it should be, by the way. All of a sudden, if you've got someone wrapping you up and you're locked, both of them, and then that is freed, and you've got all that tension,
right?
Your arm's going to continue.
Well, and that's the idea. I mean, that's why it's somewhat vague in terms of unnecessary contact. That was kind of, in my mind, ordinary. I mean, it
agree,
happens,
100%.
it happens a lot. It's a foul, but it happens a lot in the NBA, particularly with large 7-foot men that are grappling with each other.
It happens to us all the time as people walk behind these chairs.
That's right. Jim will commit a flagrant foul once a quarter.
No, that's not true. I would think about doing this. I would like to.
All right, now the replay is violating our first rule, and that's don't take too long.
Calling review of the
So it's going to be a technical foul because it occurred with the dead ball. So it's as if once the free throw was made that Bogut smacked Gobert in the face. And Hayward misses the free throw. So the big rebounder in the sky kind of evened that one up. And it's Warrior ball.
I'll tell you, Rodney Hood, missing him tonight. He's made more threes than anybody. He's their best free throw shooter.
And you have Alec Burks out with the leg fracture. So
that really hurts them.
Your firepower is diminished.
Playing the best team in the league with the best record.
Shot pocket 5. Clay was drifting and made it anyway.
I'll tell you, what an adjustment. What an adjustment. He was drifting, and he shot the ball to the right side of the rim because his body was moving to the left. That is an art in and of itself, and very difficult to perform.
You get to watch Steph Curry and Klay Thompson shoot the basketball. There's just no better pairing. Off iron there for Johnson, and Draymond will push. Harrison Barnes steps into a 3. Now, we talked about Draymond. He's been 4 of 24 on threes. Harrison now is 2 for his last 16 on threes. And yet they're both at 40% for the year. It's just they're both in mini slumps. Draymond's 1 of 2 tonight. That was Harrison's first 3 attempted. Favors. Push shot.
You see why they like Sheldon Mack. Nice play by him. Didn't rush it. Sized up the defense.
Well, Dante Exum was working out before the game, the Australian point guard.
What an athlete he is.
He comes back and is your starter next year. Sheldon Mack is your backup. You know, Utah's going to be good. Klay Thompson, beautiful runner. So Klay's got 18 to lead all scorers.
Well, Dante better be big. He's a number 5 pick a couple years ago. Only 20 years of age right now.
Sheldon Mack may have taken an extra step in the lane, but able to find Favors.
Steve Kerr saying the same thing. John, you didn't see him travel there? He did lose control of the ball a little bit.
That's probably it. Draymond attacking, and he will get to the line.
Utah foul charge, the 27.
Interesting story about Gobert. 3rd year in the league, number 27 pick. Denver traded up to get that pick.
They should have kept him.
Yes, exactly. Yes, they should have.
Free throw off. Season ticket priority wait list is your chance to get pre-sale access to playoff ticket locations at Warriors.com and 888-GSW-HOOP. Just one of the benefits of being on the priority wait list. Now it is over 23,000 people on the season ticket priority wait list. With the pre-sale playoff ticket access, that's another benefit. Favors warded off Bogut. Andrews stood tall. 7-point lead at the half. 11 right now. Try to get it back to Harrison. And the Warriors misfire, and Utah returns the favor.
The play by Draymond Green is what Steve Kerr would say, just a little too risky, because there was a lot of traffic. Good idea. Good idea. And you got to help Draymond Green by sprinting 100%.
We talked about a 3rd double-digit scorer, Jim.
Yes.
So Draymond's got 12 tonight. Clay's got 18. It's that slacker Curry with only 9 points. It's got to kick in. Of course, he's got 10 assists. Draymond taking it inside. Favors met him up top, and Hayward will have the free one. Give Utah credit. They're playing very good basketball. They're playing exceptionally hard tonight.
If they'd have been, so far, if they had handled the ball a little bit better, they'd be in really good position. But 15 turnovers, that's what they average for a game.
Klay Thompson, another runner. Bogut keeping it alive, but Favors comes up with it.
That's the thing about the league. And you relax for any bit of time, 2 or 3 minutes, and the score can change drastically.
Iguodala in right now, playing with the other 4 starters.
I thought Iguodala settled him down in the first half.
Beautifully. Yep, his 12 minutes, his passing. Draymond another 3. Curling around it out. So the game kind of hanging there right there. Which team grabs the initiative? Favors misfires.
I'm just watching Gobert and
Oh, yeah.
Gobert goes for every offensive rebound.
Clash of the Titans right now.
Bogut just thinks about blocking out.
That's going to be a lob. And just a little bit overthrown. So 4:43 remaining in the third. And Utah still hanging around.
Dave Feldman with the Sportsnet Central update. Brock Osweiler going to Texas has ramifications right here in the Bay Area. How the news affects Colin Kaepernick's chances of staying in Santa Clara. Plus, I'm not making any guarantees in this Warriors game. I took some flack Monday, even though the Dubs did win, so I will just say, let's see how this plays out. Back to Fitz and JB.
Oh, Feldy, come on. Say 46 in a row. But there's work to be done with 4:43 remaining in the third. Jim, if you look at kind of the checklist, they're holding Utah to 41% shooting. The Warriors have 22 assists. The Warriors are shooting 50%. They forced 15 Utah turnovers. The problem is the 14-0 second chance points. That's why the Jazz are in the game.
Absolutely.
And that's where it is. Raul Neto, the Brazilian, along with Favors, Hayward, Trevor Booker, and Joe Ingles. They post up Favors on Iguodala on a switch. Long rebound. Fresh 24. So here we go. Second chance points. Hayward getting another opportunity.
And they're very fortunate. Hayward has another ball well tonight.
The Warriors going to come up with 5 stops this trip. Utah's had chance after chance after chance this trip now. Neto spinning it up and out. And finally, the rebound.
Yeah, their leading scorers struggle. 4-13, 1 of 5 from three-point range. Not usually like that. And we've still got this quarter and a whole one to play.
Bo Spades has had a great game. He's got 9 points in 7 minutes. Talked about supplementary scores. Draymond and Mo Spades have answered the bell. Barbosa holding on to Ingles. Will be called for the foul. It's only the second team foul. Both teams have 2. And Leandro's got 2 personal.
Substitution for the Jazz.
Trey Burke, who had 7 off the bench in the first half. Jim mentioned Hayward, the last 2 times the Warriors have done a good job. He's on the front page of the scouting report.
He's missed some wide opens, too. Last couple he took.
Favors, a little tic-tac-toe. That's beautiful ball movement by the Jazz. There's more to Derek Favors' game. Gets better and better.
Well, he works hard.
He does, yep.
I just like his whole temperament.
Beautiful find for Draymond.
Lost Draymond on the backside.
Assists, 8 turnovers. 3-1 would not only lead the NBA, but individually that's a phenomenal percentage, let alone as a team. Shot clock at 4. Burke weaving around. And Draymond's going to be called for the foul. That'll take us to a mandatory timeout. 2:42 remaining in the third. Theme of the night. Good shots to great. Tremendous ball movement.
Common NBC Sports Live Extra.
Welcome back to Oracle Arena. Warriors up 11 on the Jazz. I'm joined right now by Lydia Ko. She's 18 years old and the #1 female golfer in the world. I saw you at shoot-around today, and you got to speak with Steph Curry, who some think is the #1 player at what he does in the world. How do you handle the pressure of competing at that level consistently?
I just try and enjoy it, and having fun for me is the most important thing. Golf is a sport where you play for a long time, so having fun kind of keeps the pressure go away. I have a really solid team around me, which has helped me to keep me grounded and just help me through the way.
The Warriors are a very solid team, and they have a lot of fun with golf, too. Klay Thompson enjoys it, Steph Curry, and Andre Iguodala. I saw on Twitter you said Andre knew a lot about the LPGA. What did he talk about with you?
Yeah, he knew why exactly I was on TV 2 weeks ago, what I was doing, last week, playing in Singapore, and he just felt like he loved the game. I mean, he's a great basketballer, so for him to like golf and to take the time to play golf, I thought it was so cool. But I mean, they're so athletic, and I think that's where their background kind of kicks in, and they're great at what they do, every day, but also great at golf too.
Real quick, I heard Andre gave you analysis of your swing. What was his feedback for you?
Yeah, he said, you do the A-swing, right? And I was like, yeah, I do. And he was trying to show me a little bit about it, and maybe he does the A-swing himself, but it was so cool. And I mean, I don't get that many opportunities to meet other athletes, and especially at their level, it's pretty crazy.
That's awesome. Lydia, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy your time here.
This has been so much fun. It's a day I'll never forget.
Awesome. Nice to meet you. And Jim, Fitz, who's the better golfer between you two?
I'm going with Fitz.
JB, you don't golf?
I always like to say, you're right, Jim. Lydia Ko is 18 years of age and the #1 golfer in the world. She's won twice here in the Bay Area. They have the event coming up at Lake Merced. Steph couldn't quite get the angle. Spates working the glass. Draws the foul.
Spates just picked up a nifty assist to Barbosa. He's got 2 assists tonight. 4 or 5 from the floor.
We were talking before the game, though, when you're a reserve and the mindset that you have to have, when your main dogs are kind of scuffling a little bit, Harrison, Draymond, and Steph and Klay, even in L.A., as a reserve, you have to decide, I've got to kick it. It's my time to do it.
That's right, and you get the green light to do so, and you know that when you go into the game. It's opportunity time, and that's why you have a bench, and that's why you're on the bench. You come in and change the game.
And for Mo Spates, you played 9 minutes, 10 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, 4 or 5 shooting, and he drops in both free throws. And it comes on a perfect night. I mean, the way Mo and Varejao and Bogut have played has been exemplary at the center spot. Ingles will draw the blocking foul, and Steph Curry.
He might get a tee.
He did get a tee.
He was there.
Stephen rarely gets exercised, but he disagreed. And the technical free throw made.
Well, you be the judge. I guess you're supposed to just step back and say hallelujah.
Shot clock at 7. Trey Brooks with an offensive foul.
Here's the way I assess that last play. You can be your own judge. When a player who doesn't usually express a lot of emotion on a foul gets that upset, he's usually right. I mean, because he doesn't complain a lot.
Draymond kicking it out to Mo. His 3 is good. Biggest lead of the night. Said in the first quarter it could be a Mo buckets night. And his 14 have been terrific.
Yeah, he's enjoying life now. Recently, behind that 3-point line.
Lyles is fouled.
This will count.
The coaches, and now we get another tee. Now who is this going to be on? And it's on Iguodala. So he got the tee to save Draymond from getting it. The Warriors have to be a little careful here. The game has been very well officiated the entire game. There's a call or two, and the last couple have bothered the Warriors, but the crew has done a great job for the most part throughout the entire game. So I actually thought that was a foul on Draymond, and it was continuation. I really didn't have a problem with that.
Lyles did a good job of squeezing in there, getting the roll, getting the foul, and everything.
Andre got the tee because he watched the replay. It was a little too demonstrative. Bottom line is there's 45 seconds left in the third, and it's a double-digit lead. And now Steph will get to the line himself. But your point, I want to piggyback on something you said, which I thought was good. Steph does not argue calls. Matter of fact, you know, there's times I think he could probably even get a better whistle. But he'd rather not be a Clipper. He'd rather just be a Warrior and not constantly be harping all the time. And so when he does make a statement, he really feels, hey, that wasn't right.
When he gets that animated, jumping off the floor, then he's probably got something to argue about.
Free throw split. Utah can push for the 2-for-1, but they won't. They say they want the score low. They want the pace under control, particularly when they play the Warriors.
Well, they did a perfect 2-for-1 there. They should get the last shot of the quarter.
About an 8-second game shot clock difference. Draymond attacking. Ball hopping around. Barbosa 3 is good.
Well, one guard defense man cannot defend two out there. Choose between Barbosa and Curry.
Final 5 seconds. Trey Lyles. And that's an offensive foul. Spades blocked the shot. Barbosa took the charge. You're going to talk about covering things defensively.
And that is a big body, and that's a lot of contact inside.
Hey, Leandro, that was some courage. To Barbosa, touchdown! 1.6, and they score anyway. Mo Spades, have yourself a night. He can throw a football 70 yards in the air. He loves to show off the arm. Right to LB. Perfectly done. And an 18-point lead as we head to the fourth.
Hot.
Toyota game summary. Utah trying to keep the pace under control, but the Warriors' execution at the end of quarters has been spectacular. Oh, Spence is having a night. 16.
Well, the last 90 seconds of that quarter just absolutely killed Utah. Barbosa with 5 straight points. And you're right about Spades. Can't play any better than he's playing. Marvelous game.
Trey Burke off iron. Here comes Iguodala. Andre weaving, finishing. It's a 10-0 run. And Trey Burke slipping and sliding and drawing the foul. We check in with Roz.
Guys, Mo Spates has 16 points. He has that sweet touchdown pass to Barbosa in the last timeout. Coach Kerr, his timeouts are pretty stoic usually, but this time his eyes lit up. He had a childlike grin, and he said, yeah, Mo Buckets, that was nice.
Well, the thing about Spates, when the Warriors went to the 49er game together as a team during their training camp, the Warrior training camp, they got down on the field before the game. And Mo played quarterback in high school.
Yes.
He threw a football 70 yards in the air. So he's got the gun. And he likes to show it off.
Well, they do this in practice. They take the ball and throw it the length of the court, trying to hit the backboard. They do it a lot. It's part of their routine. They even did it during the finals. They were going to shoot around, and I'm going, what's going on here?
Right.
They might be a little too loose.
But you asked, partner, for a third score tonight to help out Steph and Clay. Draymond double digits, Barbosa double digits, Mo Spates double digits. The depth of the Warriors on display. Iguodala to beat the shot clock buzzer.
First of all, he saved a near turnover because he came and met the ball on the pass from Spates.
Back missing, Andre with a rebound.
Well, unless something goes haywire here, the Warriors are bound to determine not to let Utah get back in the game.
Oh, Spates out. That was Steph Curry range.
And it's a little early to start doing that, and he's apologizing.
I love that. Mo is at times childlike.
Yes, he is.
He pointed to Steve Kerr and he said, it was my fault, coach. It was my fault. I won't do it again. It was my fault.
I've learned my lesson.
That was nice. Burke gets Spates switched out on him, which means Barbosa's dealing with Gobert. Where he had the foul. Verjao will check back in. That is a great 13 minutes for Mo Spates. 16 points, 4 assists, 3 boards, 6 of 8 shooting. Tremendous.
If I said to you, early in the fourth quarter, Mo Spates had outscored Stephen Curry before the game. Would you think the score would be what it is?
I would say, Jim, let's sit down and put a cold compress on your head. Make sure you're okay for the broadcast.
And you would have thought that home winning streak had been stopped.
Yes, it would have been a problem. Well, the Blazers are coming to town on Friday. Can't wait for this one, an Authentic Fan Friday. All the fans get a Sean Livingston cheer card. We know Greg and the guys will be out here. And Damian Lillard, who has been playing unbelievable basketball since the All-Star break. Steph Curry and Damian Lillard have been the 2 best point guards in the NBA. And they get Harrison Barnes a bucket. That's a nice play by Barbosa. Getting Harrison rolling offensively would be the last item on the checklist tonight.
First team foul. Calling his basket, Harrison Barnes.
Penetration. It brings defenders. He just lays it back.
Substitution.
Harrison has a chance for that three-point play. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, the 30th assist of the night, Jim. The Warriors have done that 33 times. The next highest total is Atlanta with 13 games.
That's a nice little high water mark.
They've already surpassed all of last season in terms of 30 assist games.
Curry's got 10 assists tonight with only 2 turnovers. And interesting, hasn't made a field goal in that third quarter. He had 1 free throw only. He's got 10 points.
We talk about if you get a chance, you want to foul Gobert. Instead, the fingernail foul and the three-point play opportunity. And you wonder if Steve Kerr can, with a 20-point lead, he might not have to bring Steph back in the game.
He may have to be satisfied with a 10-point game and 3 of 10 shooting.
And 10 assists.
And all 3 field goals.
That time.
3-pointers.
Verjao will commit the foul. 30 assists, 10 turnovers. 3-to-1 ratio.
Their personal 15 foul penalty situation.
Problem now for the Warriors with 9:32 left in a game. They're already over the limit, which means Utah's going to shoot free throws the rest of the ball game.
That's exactly what they want.
Stop the clock.
Stop the clock. Slow it down.
The lead. Yep. Trey Burke, 7 of 7 from the line.
Yeah, give him credit. He's working himself there.
He's our leading scorer tonight. He's got 15. So 9.5 left. The Warriors have shot it at 56%. Limited Utah to 39% shooting. Just want to execute with some of the reserves here. Harrison, a little runner, curled it out. Shelvin Mack bringing that one in. Like I said, throughout the night, Utah has not gone away. Barbosa has been feeling it tonight. It's not just the 13 for Barbosa. He's 6 of 7. Efficiency. Spade 6 of 8. Barbosa 6 of 7. The Stifle Tower ended up short, and Booker pushed off.
Bob, if my arithmetic is correct, the bench is 17 of 23 from the field.
The reserves have carried the day. The Warriors in control.
We got
Fighter.
The lead at 17 with 8.5 remaining in the ball game. Our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. Brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light. The last 10 seasons in the NBA. These are the best plus-minus years by players. The last 10 years. Curry, Draymond, Curry again, Clay, LeBron, Draymond, Garnett, Clay, and Kawhi Leonard. The last 10 years of any players in the league.
You said before the game, a lot of numbers, too many numbers. Those are huge. I mean, that is a huge graphic.
And plus-minus has now become, you know, one of the key stats that's mentioned more frequently. It really originated in hockey. If you're on the ice when a goal was scored versus on the ice when a goal was allowed.
But try to get your arms around those numbers.
Now, that's, you're talking in the last 10 years.
The number of players for the Warriors. It's pretty good. Barbosa.
The rebound. Draymond Green tonight is plus 23 in his 31 minutes. That's how good a game he has played. He said he likes to score. He's doing a good job of it tonight. He's got 18.
They're kind of letting Mack be the point guard.
Yep.
Burke's playing the off guard there.
Just thinking, second game in a row we've seen a team attack the Warriors with 2 point guards. Now, Portland has 2 great guards in McCollum and Damian Lillard. Terry Stotts can already play that. Bottom of the backboard. Livingston got it back. Scored anyway. You highlighted it, Jim. The bench shooting percentage is spectacular. Is 25 for the reserves tonight. Burke missing there. And foul on the rebound. Barbosa will pick it up.
Gobert go to the line again. He's hard to keep out. As I say, you can keep a body on him and keep him away from the board most of the time, but you're not going to be able to get help anywhere. You're going to be singularly defending.
They list him at 7'1", 245, but I could not think of a player with a larger wingspan in the league.
I agree.
He is a California condor in terms of those long arms and that 7'1" frame. Barbosa, nice round of applause as he sits with 13. Splitting the free throws. So the lead was 22. At 15 right now is Clay and Draymond playing with Varejao, Harrison, and John Livingston. Klay Thompson rammed it in. The shooters roll for 3. Clock at 7. Mack down to 3. Does not want to shoot a 3. Varejao tracking him, and Shelvin Mack still got to the rim. Curry is at the scorer's table, so Stephen's going to check in. Draymond three. Get in there. Rattled it in. That is a good sign for the Warriors. 17 for Draymond Green. 2 of 4 on threes. Hayward misfiring. Harrison Barnes traveled with the ball.
Substitution for the Jazz. Checking back in. 45. William Neto.
So Curry checks back in with the 21-point lead.
Stephen Curry back on the floor, replacing Harrison Barnes.
Harrison 6 boards, 3 assists tonight. He only had the 4 points. That'll be the next thing. Get H going again offensively. But a lot of guys are going to feel good about this game as Hayward hits a 3. Ron Adams, Tuchin, when you hold a team to 40% shooting, not going to like that turnover, which was the 11th. Draymond with the D. Curry and Shelvin Mack weaving around him to lay it up and in. Steph Curry's your 5th leading scorer tonight, and the Warriors still lead by 20.
I bet he feels good about it, about him being the 5th leading scorer.
Absolutely. Harris out running the floor.
I love the lead pass on the floor by Klay Thompson. He just led him to the hoop by where he threw it.
Quinn Snyder going to stop it. The Warriors have looked like the world champs tonight. Laker Orlando games in the distance. Post All-Star break funk a little bit. Goodbye. The Warriors are back, and one of their leaders has found his shot again. A Rams shot of the game, ending the first half. Curry from 50. What more do you say?
Well, they were going to defend him. I believe that was Trey Burke. He just made a little crossover dribble to evade him and got a look.
There's never been a shooter from distance of that skill level in the history of the game.
I concur.
Jeff Withey has checked in. Here's Johnson. We'll hit a 3.
I will say, though, Bob, that I missed the first 8 years of the NBA. I didn't follow it then. But I followed it very closely since 1957. It's on Saturday afternoons. Really. Every year since.
There's a little up and under. And Andy getting a little love. So you're saying, Jim, that from 1946 to 57, there could have been some incredible shooter in 49 that we don't really know about. who was better from deep than Steph.
Brad Holtzman was playing then.
Okay. He was a guard for the Toronto Huskies who really could shoot it from deep. Withey tried to get it to Booker, knocked out of bounds. It's Warrior ball.
Pretty good handle for a big man.
Yeah, it was.
Pretty smooth by Withey.
Ian Clark will check in. The Warrior bench brigade has been nothing short of spectacular tonight. Hopefully Roz is going to catch up with Mo Spates. Talk to him after the game. Emotionally, he was just terrific. Got the crowd into it. Berejau was held.
Utah foul charge. 33.
I don't know that Utah would want to see the Warriors in a first-round playoff matchup. I know the Jazz would like to qualify, but
they'll take it.
Yeah, they get in, but I think Quinn Snyder might have an issue.
I'll tell you what. They'll have a game plan. They'll try to slow it down every game.
Yeah, you're right. You would need good shooting, and
maybe they'll be a little healthier by then.
that's a good point. We're expecting Alec Burks back. He makes the difference. So it's good.
You better believe he makes the difference.
Curry off the heel of the rim. Ian Clark will track it down. Fresh 24. Chance to use a little clock here. McAdoo and Brandon Rush are going to check in. They cycle it to Klay Thompson. And Varejao the rebound. He lost the ball out of bounds.
For substitution, checking in for first time, number 4, Brandon Rush at 20.
Draymond Green, 17, 7, and 5. His night is done.
Replacing Anderson Varejao.
And Varejao also with 9 points and 5 rebounds. Warriors played back-to-back against LA and against Orlando. They had yesterday off. And a lot of guys just kind of said, you know what, it was just good to not be at the gym, just get away a little bit.
And Stephen Curry went to a school.
Yep, well, Steph never has a day off.
I asked him that. Tomorrow he's going to take off, which well deserved. By the way, the biggest turnover of the night just occurred. You missed it, but I don't want to use the word equipment manager because Erik-Hausen is so much more than that.
Right.
He's a traveling secretary and everything, but he just knocked your coat on the floor. Where's your sport coat?
You know, this is the kind of inexcusable sloppiness that Steve Kerr will not stand for.
There's Eric.
There's E. Warriors Slate Nights presented by DraftKings. That'll be Saturday when the Phoenix Suns come to town. It'll be the back end of a home back-to-back, playing Portland Friday and Phoenix on Saturday.
Go ahead.
I would say, if Warrior fans knew what Erik-Hausen did,
I was just going to say,
and the hours he has put in for this franchise.
I know there's an MVP player, but he's the MVP of the organization.
No question.
I mean, he does so much for us for travel. It's just incredible what the responsibilities
and
that he has.
I told Eric this after the Warriors won the championship. There's 6 of us that have been with the franchise longer than 20 years.
Yeah.
And people say, hey, happy for you and Jim, happy for you, Jim and Tim. I said, you know what? I'm happy for Erik-Hausen and Marcus Huffman and Alvin Adels. The group of us that have been with the franchise forever.
We get to a city at 3 in the morning. He sometimes goes to the arena and does the laundry.
All our travel, all the luggage, all the hotels, all the equipment, everything for the players. There's nobody like him in sports.
There's always a bus there when we land on the tarmac because of Eric.
2:52 remaining in the ball game. Erik-Hausen, our MVP. But don't knock my coat off again.
There are a lot.
Our big plays the Togo's way. Mo Spates hitting the 3. 3 of his 16. And then to end the third with a perfect touchdown pass to Barbosa. Mo Spates doesn't have enough fun when he plays, Jim. That's the thing we got to talk to Mo about. I said sarcastically. And I love when he is having a good night. His season high. Give Steve Kerr a lot of options, Jim. When you think of Bogut, Varejao, and Spates, and then in April, if you were to get Festus Ezeli back.
Well, Festus is going to be back.
And then that would just be terrific because you look at the Spurs and some of these teams, Oklahoma City, they've got a lot of large bigs, and Steve could play a number of different ways.
It was a good acquisition to get Varejao because they missed Spates. And he's going to be back. He's doing a little court work today.
Oh, good. Right. Yeah, Festus.
He'll be reevaluated again in a couple of weeks. He's not even with that 6-week mark yet. I talked to him last game, actually. It was very encouraging.
Brandon Rush hitting the 3. Well, that's good. People have asked about kind of a Festus update, so it's good that all systems are go and he's recovering nicely. Spates playing the D, but committed a foul.
Actually, Festus is ahead of the schedule.
Good.
A little bit.
Because if you want to play a power game, you have Ezeli, you have Varejao. Foul trouble, you'd be covered. You want to lift to the other team's 5 or 4. You have Mo in there in terms of he can take a big all the way out to 3-point range. Just gives Steve Kerr a lot of options. And the way Brandon Rush has shot the ball this year. Now you need another floor spacer, another 3-point shooter. It's almost like the Warriors are the deepest team in the league with the best record.
Well, Brandon Rush has had 24 starts. The man on the left there. And they can depend on him. Steve Kerr is not afraid to put him in any situation.
He's a 42% 3-point shooter.
Yeah, he's just been terrific.
Greg Papa, Gary St. Jean, Kalena Azubuike. We'll talk about this on Warrior Postgame Live.
But I'd like to see this Utah team in about 2 years.
They get a point guard, Jim. They're going to be excellent.
They're going to be good anyway. They're going to be a lot better.
McAdoo called for the foul on the turn on that dribble handoff. He made contact with Neto. Gobert, Favors, Gordon Hayward, Rodney Hood, Alec Burks. They got pieces. Trey Lyles was their #1 pick this year, dunking that down.
2 minutes. 2 minutes remaining.
They get Dante Exum back, and he's healthy. 20-year-old point guard, but he's one of those point guards in the Zach LaVine, Russell Westbrook mold in terms of just sheer athleticism.
Exactly.
Shot clock at 2. Mo tracks it down from the corner. Hit iron. Warriors going to see Utah one more time. That will be in Utah. Little one-game road trip. 13 more home games and 6 on the road remain after tonight as Brandon Rush scores inside. Neto with a deep 2. Looking forward to Portland on Friday, Jim.
Yep.
You know, Lillard and McCollum. Authentic Fan Friday with Warrior Pregame Live coming your way at 6:30.
They won last night, but had lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, but Lillard had to have 41 for them to win.
Oh, they're good. They'll look forward to playing here.
You know, I think Friday night, Steph's defense, as much as his offense, will be in play as Lyles is able to score. Curry guarding Lillard is going to be an issue, and Clay guarding Lillard and McCollum. And that's one of the few backcourts that can kind of be in the Warrior realm firepower.
I like that move by Lyles. I like his finish. He's a little faster than you can imagine. You look at him, it looks like he's a little slow. Well, he made a nice little scoop shot there. It's very soft off the glass.
Yeah, he's got 11 points in 15 minutes. Ian Clark. The only good thing that came out of the Laker game is Ian Clark hit 2 threes and got his shot back. The only positive that came out of that ugly loss, but Ian's got a little spring in his step now.
Well, the only negative tonight is McAdoo is the only player that hasn't scored.
And no need to shoot with the shot clock off. You're up big. NBA etiquette, you don't shoot again. Win number 57. 46 in a row at home. The continuing NBA record. Curry, 133 games at the 3. They shoot it at 57%. They limit Utah to 40% shooting. 36 assists to the Warriors and only 15 turnovers.
Just a beautifully played game. They had the game plan executed right at the outset. Utah hung in for a while, but when you get the bench scoring like they do, particularly with Mo Spates, the Warriors are not going to be denied.
Warriors and Spurs see each other 3 more times before the season is done. And the Warriors just trying to keep that pace and keep the Spurs at bay. 5 players in double figures, but maybe none more important than Mo Spates with his 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. 6 of 10 shooting, and Mo is alongside Roz.
Mo, you really found your shot tonight. You told me that the coaching staff gave you the green light when you're open, even from 3. How does that relax you out there?
It feels good. The coach gave me an opportunity to go out there with all the minutes I get.
No matter if it's 10 or 15 or 5, they always allow me to play free. And I'm happy for that.
Coming into this season, you had made 19 threes over 7 years. This year, you've made 13 threes. Why this big jump from the three-point line?
It's all about confidence. I always shoot in practice. I always shoot in something when I work out. It's just I had to get used to it shooting in the real game. So feel easy, except that one air ball I shot.
We'll let the air ball go. Okay, how about this play, though? You have the touchdown pass to Barbosa. It's off of the defensive rebound. How did you see and feel that play develop?
I was really supposed to go to Andre, but LB stole it. But I knew that LB had one-on-one. I was going to throw it anyways, and it was a touchdown pass. I'm glad he caught it.
Awesome. So you guys also took better care of the ball tonight, decreased the turnovers. What was key to doing that?
Well, Coach stressed that we got to get ready for the playoffs, so the last 20 games going to be key, and we did pretty good except the first couple minutes of the game. We settled down and did what we had to do.
All right, thanks, Mo. Congrats. Bob?
Rosmo was good tonight, and the bench was spectacular. There is the bench brigade with 53 points on outstanding shooting, 23 of 33. And I would say it's exactly what Steve Kerr wanted in the game.
Well, it's what we talked about. You get this team to kick in like that with others and not have to depend on Clay and Steph every night. You got a winner.
Warriors win it 115-94. Extend that league record home winning streak. Do everything the coaching staff wanted to see and had a lot of fun on a Wednesday night. Warrior Postgame Live, presented by Honda, is coming up next. Greg and the guys, and then we'll be back to Oracle right after this.
Now that's more like the Warriors. That was a solid team victory, and the crowd files out the way they always do, having seen the Warriors win at home 46 in a row in the regular season. You're going to like the assist-to-turnover ratio. Got a little sloppy late in the game, but still 15 turnovers. It was 10 for most of the game, and they wound up with 36 assists. Come on in studio to Honda Warriors Post-Game Live. Greg Papa, Gary St. Jean, Kalena Azubuike. They played solid tonight on both ends of the floor, guys.
Well, I think Dr. Steve Kerr prescribed perfectly. He wanted the turnovers kept down. He wanted the defense to be tightened up. And they did all of that. And, oh, by the way, what a performance by the bench. They did a fabulous job.
Great execution. They were forced to play in the half court a little bit tonight. They played well. And like you said, the turnovers, they beat those down a little bit. They got this against a team that likes to play slow. You force.
All right, let's go back to Oracle, go courtside, get some post-game thoughts from Bob Fitzgerald and Jim Barnett. And Jim, as you were saying, you know, early in the second quarter, Utah had the 1-point lead, and the Warrior bench just came in and took the game over. The numbers on the bench tonight are amazing. 53 points, 23 of 33 shooting off the bench tonight.
Well, that's what I say. When Steph Curry gets only 12 points in a game and you win the game going away, you win every quarter.
Yep.
Won every quarter tonight, and you did not need the superlatives of Stephen Curry. It means you've got a complete roster. But to me, Bob, it starts at the defensive end. They put pressure on Utah all night long. They got a lot of steals, and they got out into the court. Here's a game where they shoot 57%.
Yep.
And they did it because they got some easy shots, because they made the other team turn the ball over. Plus 16 points off turnover night. That's all you need to know.
And I think, too, Greg, you have everybody get involved in this game. A lot of guys are going to feel good about it. And I think Steph early on, with all the passing,
yes,
he was trying to get Draymond going, trying to get other people kick in. And Barbosa, Varejao, Spates, Livingston, Iguodala, you talked about the bench. Everyone's going to feel like they contributed, and Mo talked about it. The final 20 games, the coaches challenge these guys. Let's lose the next 20. Use that to gear up for the postseason, and that's what you want to see out of tonight.
That's exactly what Steve Kerr wants. He wants them to develop and continue the good habits. Get back to the good habits that we've seen over the last couple of years when they're playing at their very best. And when Steph Curry goes out there, he's the general, and he gets 10 assists in this game. It just spells everything for everyone out there, and they just continue to just do it with a group effort.
Yeah, think about it, Greg. Friday night, Authentic Fan Friday, but Damian Lillard, Steph Curry. I mean, that's worth the price of admission right there. And, oh, by the way, C.J. McCollum and Klay Thompson are awesome as well. I'm waiting for that Portland rematch.
Yeah.
Portland crushed the Warriors first game after the All-Star break. These guys have a memory on games like that. Friday night will be fun.
Man, he always plays well at Oracle. We'll have all his cousins there and his aunties and everybody there to watch him play. Last time we saw him on February the 19th, he went for 51. We'll see you guys on Friday night. And as Jim was saying, you know, the Warriors were down early second quarter. Bench stabilized it. But the BMW turning point for us, because they still weren't in control of the game. When he does this again, St. Kalina, from half court, and then he ran off the court at halftime. That's the way they started the second half. They ran right back on and just took the game over.
Trey Burke, the defender, is like, I've seen the highlights. This is not happening again. And Steph's like, nope, crossover.
It's going to be long.
Glass work. Come on now.
Let
me get him out of here.
Let him. He's going to run right off the court. He's done that. He's done that a few times this year. I'm going to count 7. If you don't believe me, here they are. Let's go back to early in the year. He loves the grindhouse from Memphis. He'll pull up and rail it.
Half court. That counts as half court.
And then the one you were in Kalina, you were with us on this Friday night against the Pacers. This is a regular jump shot from midcourt.
And that's after he had made one that didn't count.
All right. Remember the All-Star game?
Little shimmy there.
TNT actually broke away, so we're the only ones to show you the video of this. KD, you're not taking it. I'm taking it. And then against the Miami Heat safely. There's a theme here.
You think he works on this?
Yeah. We're going to have Braden Payne on the pregame show. His personal, Jeff Turner can't believe he made that one against Orlando. And, of course, the shot.
We'll say that's half court, too.
From 37, not 32. And tonight Kalina was more, not a standard jump shot. He kind of had a 1 foot that one to get it a little bit longer. But as long as he puts it on line, it can be a little long. Because he's got the backboard right behind him.
We're talking about all the records this team has set and all the records Steph has set. I'm sure he's got the record for most half-court shots in a season. Could we just
It's right there.
That? We just saw it.
Where was he running back? To watch the video of it? Where was he?
He's like, I got to see this. This is amazing. I can't believe I just did that again.
Secaucus is not going to overturn that. But the beautiful thing, he was 0 for his first 5. He made a couple of threes, then he makes that. But at halftime, his assist-turnover ratio was 8-0. And he winds up with 10 assists and just 3 turnovers. And that, to me, is the way he worked the offense tonight. Look at that. Behind the back to Draymond to lead him beautifully. And the alley-oops he kept throwing to Bogut. He was just on point with his passing tonight, Saint.
Well, I think it set the tone for the entire game. You're plus over 30 assists again. And that was, I think the message. He wasn't going to take the long, quick, early ones. The ball was going to get moving, make the extra pass. Good to see some of the guys have been struggling to make a few shots. And, of course, the defense got him out in transition, and that's where they really excelled.
He's unselfish, and he's a point guard. And sometimes point guards get other people involved a little more than they score. And tonight was just one of those nights. They didn't really need the scoring from him. Everybody else picked up the pace. And, by the way, it was nice to see Draymond Green hit a couple shots also.
He did. And how about Bogut on the alley-oop? We may be picking that out a little bit later on.
Yes, we are.
All right, so the Warriors win again at home, 46 in a row. It makes them 28-0 at home this year, Stanley. 13 more home games.
Yeah, you got all of those as W's. I know that.
They're going unbeaten at home this year. Let's just say
no doubt about it.
I'm with you.
We'll hear from Steve Kerr. A lot more coming away on the Honda Warriors postgame live.
The Bookie.
All right, Phil Diamond, we'll see you at 10:22. Warriors with a big win over the Utah Jazz. If you don't score 100 against the Warriors, you got no shot. They are 21-0 this year when they hold the opponents under 100. Remember last year they were 40-0, so that's 61 in a row. And the offense was terrific tonight, led by Klay Thompson with 23 points on 9 of 14 shooting. But off the bench came Mo Buckets and Leandro Barbosa. And the bench had been struggling a little bit since the All-Star break, but not tonight. Amazing numbers. 53 points off the bench, 22 of 33. It was Mo Bucket scoring 16 points in a little over 15 minutes on 6 of 10 shooting, starting to make the 3-ball. And Leandro Barbosa got a layup on a tremendous outlet pass by Mo Buckets. All I'm going to say here is touchdown Warriors!
Cannon! He's got a cannon for an arm.
Through there, huh? And got even more excited than all of us was Steve Kerr. He really loved that outlet pass by his big guy, Mo Buckets, who's now Mo assists.
Draymond Green got excited there, too. Gotta love it.
Coach, what can you say about Mo Spate's contribution tonight?
Mo was fantastic. You know, what I love about Mo is that he always stays ready. Sometimes I don't play him. Keeps a smile on his face, keeps working, and every time we go to him, it seems like he delivers. So he's just a great pro and understands his role on our team and helps us win.
Steve, you talked about turnovers and defensive intensity the last couple of days. So what do you think tonight of those two areas?
Much better. You know, we started out, we turned it over the first 2 times, and it's like, here we go again. And then we simplified the game. And I thought for the most part we didn't try for the home runs that we've been trying for the last couple of games, and our focus was better. I think we ended up with 15 turnovers. Yeah, 6 and 4. For the most part, we did a really good job of just being solid, and that's the thing that I keep trying to pound home with our guys is that, you know, we have so much depth and so much talent. Solid is enough, and solid actually leads us to better shots than the home run attempts. So I was really happy with our ball movement tonight. 36 assists, fantastic. I want to point out Andre's contribution. We're so different when we have Andre. You know, if you don't watch the game, if you just look at the box score, you just say, you know, ho-hum. But Andre, he does everything for us. He's an anchor on defense. He settles us down on offense. He's a brilliant player. I mean, he's just so smart, and he makes a dramatic difference when he's out on the floor. So we're happy he's back.
Monty stole my question, but I was going to ask you if you were concerned, like the first 3 times down, you guys, first one's not strictly a turnover, but then 3 times down, you lose it. And then Steph comes down, throws that crazy behind-the-back pass. Did that?
Yeah. You know, I sometimes I think about when I played with the Spurs. It was Manu Ginobili's first year, and Pop used to go nuts when Manu would come down and throw all these around-the-back passes. And finally, you know, after a game one time, Pop said to Manu, why do you have to throw that pass around the back? Like, what are you doing? And Manu said, Pop, this is what I do. And at that point, Pop was like, all right. And you know, so there's a certain amount of that on this team because of the skill involved, you know, especially with Steph. You know, Steph's going to throw some around the back stuff. He's going to make some crazy plays. And obviously so much more of it is good than bad that you know, you live with it. And it reminds me a lot of Ginobili. Ginobili's going to, you know, do some spectacular things. He's going to make a couple of crazy mistakes, but you know, the positive side is so dramatic that you live with some of that.
Steve, I know we've gone over this every time Steph makes one of these half-court shots, how, you know, it's almost expected.
Yeah.
You see him practicing it. What meaning can you draw from this particular shot and then racing in the locker room?
Well, it was a great exit. That was fantastic. It was like when Bo Jackson ran out of the stadium. I'm glad he came back for the second half, so that was good. But no, I mean, when he shoots it, you know it's going to be, you know it has a chance. And I don't know how many he's hit so far this year, but it's incredible. Never seen anybody that accurate from midcourt. It always looks good. Even the ones that miss, you know, they look good, and he gives it a chance every time.
Yeah, the count is about 7 from half court on the shots, but we also saw him make a half court lob tonight, and he made a number of great alley-oop throws to our guy Andrew Bogut. It's the focal point of Bookie's Big Time Bifocals.
BBB. Hey, we couldn't just go with 1 tonight. We had to go with 3. The alley-oops and the passes were also big time. This is a side out of bounds where they've been so good. Weak side pin down. Bogut's just going to slip it. Of course, Gobert is focusing on the shooter coming off. Naps a little bit. This one's over the French rejection again. Poor Gobert. He's not rejecting anything there. And this is another set play, a pin down. Sheldon Mack is way behind because he just got beat with a pin down. And he doesn't have to screen, Bogut doesn't, because he runs into his own man, and they are both open. Steph was open. Bogut was open. Steph decides to pass it, the lob. It's a beautiful thing. That's the kind of movement we're talking about.
he was open because the best player in the game was going to get the ball, and they're all like, oh, no. So they're all trying to rush toward him. The man who sets a good screen invariably in a play is the guy who's going to be open. That's just the way it works in the game. And when you got a guy like Bogues who knows when to slip it, when there's no body contact, he knows to go to the rim, and you got passers like the Warriors have, you're going to get a few lobs.
The Warriors have a way of rewarding those good screeners. It happens all the time.
Bogut had some good hops tonight. And I'm not talking about the beer he's going to have after the game.
Hey,
he was getting up a little bit there, Sadley. He was getting up a little bit. He was jumping. He was scoring high.
The big fella is spry.
Of course he is.
The passes were perfect.
All right, we come back. It's time for the do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Don't you love Steve Kerr dropping Manu Ginobili?
I love that.
Jackson?
I love that.
This guy. And he wins every game.